Hello everyone. In this video I wanted to talk to you about goal facilitators. I've recently published an article in Legal Marketing Association's Strategies and Voices. I will provide the link to the article in the comments section. And I've also written about goal facilitators on my website as well, so I'll provide that link too. So the title of the article is Beneath Service, What Law Firm Clients Are Really Buying. And in this article, I dive deep into client motivations. There are 4 primary motivations. I talk about goal facilitators that are derived from those motivations, let's put it that way. And I also talk about value activities that the clients of professional service firms and law firms as well find compelling and are eager to pay for. So the things I discuss in that particular article are 3 parts of what goes into good service offering design. But the other topics that ought to be looked into when thinking about designing service offerings is the buyer types. There are 8 primary buyer types that you want to address and think about and know of their existence and how to deal with them. The buyer typology is based on how buyers act or behave in sales negotiation settings. Another thing is value elements. And the last thing is natural strengths and proclivities of professionals who are actually providing the services. So these 6 different topics, they all are intertwined and they all affect one another. When you're creating your professional services or when you're creating your service offerings, it's best to know which levers you can pull to better serve your clients and better serve your professionals and better serve your firm as well, because you have to make your services valuable to your clients, obviously, but then your professionals, they have to be interested and capable and willing to put their effort into the services that you're providing. And of course, your firm has to make profit at the end of the day. All right, let me tell you about the 4 goal facilitators that your clients will value from your firm. So the first one is markers of progress. Now, these are driven by the sense of control. The second one is tools and skills. So this is driven by mastery. The third one is allies and friends, and this is driven by belonging. And the last one is driven by agent. It's called the agent of change, and it is driven by exploratory curiosity. Now, I would like to tell you a story to illustrate what these goal facilitators actually are. Me and my family, we live in New York City, and we've decided to go for a hike to a familiar area. We've been there thrice. It's 50 miles north of New York City, called Breakneck Ridge. Now, as you know, most hiking trails, they're equipped with markers, either colorful discs or plates attached to tree trunks. And sometimes there are paint marks on the trees or on the rocks or boulders, something that helps you along the way to identify that you're following the right trail that you've selected. 2 hours into our adventure, I stopped paying attention to those markers for one reason or another. I can't remember why is that. Probably I was overconfident or something. And eventually we got lost. Once we acknowledged that, I've made a decision to, go one direction, because going in all directions hardly seems a prudent idea. And approximately 15 minutes or so, we were able to find a new trail. And it had blue labels, blue markers attached to the tree trunks. So this was a blue trail. Unfortunately, we needed a white trail to get to where we were supposed to go. But it was better to follow the blue trail rather than not following any trail and being lost in the woods. So as we moved along the trail, I looked at the tree trunk. There was a huge tree on the ground, and I thought to myself, this is probably a great hiding spot for snakes. And split second later, I noticed a huge 6 feet long black snake slithering toward another tree and curling next to it. So we were pretty scared because at that time I did not know that this was called a Pantheropus obsoletus, which is another word for a giant rat snake. So to me, this appeared as an ultimate adversary. And this snake is supposedly harmless to human beings. Like I said, at that time, I was not aware of that. So I had my makeshift staff with me and started pounding the ground to scare the beast away, but it did nothing. It just broke into 2 pieces, and that was that. We were able, however, to avoid direct confrontation with the beast and move further. Sometime later, we found ourselves at the edge of the forest and next to a private property. So we've decided not to pursue that path. Instead, we decided to go back. But of course, we did not want to confront the beast one more time. Therefore, we've made a decision to rush a nearby hill. At the summit of the hill, like several feet from there, short distance, we were able to find a new track, a new path. At that time, one member of my group just plumped onto the ground, head buried in hands. Now, and this can't get more archetypal than that, but after a while, let's say 20 minutes or so, we found ourselves at a crossroads, and there were 3 paths for us to take. It was already 4 p.m., so we knew that making the wrong turn could prove detrimental for us because the sun would start setting soon. I noticed that at the crossroads, sitting in the shade at the tree, was a lady, a fellow hiker. So I asked her for assistance, and she asked, like, where do you want to get to, and explained which route we should take. And of course we did that, and after 2 hours we were safely back at a nearby town. So this is a perfect illustration of the goal facilitators. So first of all, markers of progress. With the hiking example, these are those markers, right? The colorful markers that tell you about your progress toward the goal, toward your destination, right? They show you where you are, well, basically showing you the progress. Next, the tools and skills. So I had some orientation skills, amateurish probably, but still I had some. Of course, I had some tools with me as well, which was we had cell phones with some poor coverage on it, but we could find a map on those phones. I also had the staff that broke into 2, right? So we had some tools with us, which are valuable. Next, once we've encountered the ultimate adversary, the snake, so we needed a friend or an ally, and I made the decision to act as a friend and ally, someone who would protect the members of the group against that adversary, right? And then lastly, the lady who pointed us to the right direction was an agent of change. So all of that illustrates, the 4 separate goal facilitators that are actually valuable to your clients. So when you're working with your clients, especially those clients who have been lost in the woods, so to speak, before, they will value those goal facilitators. When you think about goal facilitators, you should also think about, the journey, so to speak, getting from point A to point B. So when your clients have a goal in mind, whatever facilitates their progress toward their goal, right? And here the progress is more important than the goal itself. You should keep that in mind too. So whatever facilitates the progress is valuable. So folks will be inclined to or interested in paying for those goal facilitators. On my website, I provide an example or several examples how these goal facilitators are implemented in businesses that you can observe. And I give an example of KonMari website. This is a company that helps with organizing. And so I outline how these particular goal facilitators are implemented on that website and on the offerings that the company is providing you with. All right, so next time when you are adjusting your current service offerings or when you're creating new service offerings for your clients, make sure to integrate some of these goal facilitators because these are valuable to your clients, and they basically facilitate their progress from getting from a current state of affairs to a better future state, which is generally desirable. All right, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.